Anthony Hernandez takes on Roman Dolidze in an epic middleweight clash to main event UFC Vegas 109 this weekend. Can Steve Erceg reverse his Dominic Reyes fortune? Can we trust Andre Fili one more time? Is every favorite actually going to win? Well, I answer all those questions and more in this video, which I'll be giving my exact predictions for every fight at UFC Vegas 109, so let's get into it. Before we dive into this upcoming card, I would like to do a recap of UFC Vegas 108, and as for the picks, we went 10-2, Danny Silva, kind of a meme pick, alright? It was plus 300, I didn't think he was getting knocked out, so I went ahead and picked him against Kevin Vallejos, and kind of a bad pick, I'm not gonna lie. And Mateusz Rebecki, I was on Chris Duncan at first, but alas, I picked the favorite, Rebecki, and if we had just not picked those two, we would have swept. We were so close, and as for the bets, we were profitable, 2.35 units, so can't complain when you make some change. Let's try to replicate this weekend. First fight on the card, we have Cody Brundage taking on Eryk McConico. As for the styles of these fighters, Cody Brundage is a meme fighter. Almost all of his fights in the UFC end by meme outcome, whether it be a slam TKO, or a no contest, or a DQ. This guy finds new ways to win and new ways to lose. He has decent power, I would say one-shot KO power, and he has good takedowns that he goes to when the striking isn't working. As for Eryk McConico, he's mainly a grappler. He's got average power, I wouldn't say crazy power, and he's got okay takedowns. At the end of the day, this guy's a decent grappler, not much else. Advantages for each in this fight, Cody Brundage is going to have the takedown upside. Like I said, he has one-shot KO power. He's going to be 4 years younger compared to McConico, who's 35, he's 31, and he's also going to have loads of UFC experience to his name compared to McConico, who's only fought once, and that was against Nursultan Muzaboyev in a fight where he lost by TKO. As for McConico, he's going to have a 5-inch reach advantage, and ultimately speaking, he has taken less damage than Cody Brundage over his career. Important things to note about these guys, they're both taking it on 1 week's notice, both of them, so the 1 week's notice, short notice factor is going to apply to both men. Cody Brundage always brings entertainment in his fights, whether it be a win or a loss. You need to lock in when Cody Brundage fights, especially when he's opening the card. As for McConico, the only way for him to win this is if he just Cedric Dumas's his way to victory. So Cedric Dumas fought Cody Brundage, and he just laid on top of him for 3 rounds. McConico needs to do something similar to win, and all 3 of his losses professionally are by KO finish. So the durability is also a huge question in this match. With all that being said, the pick here is Cody Brundage to win by KO. The odds are not currently listed. I'm imagining he's going to be in the minus 300 range. So let's go ahead and snag that. Next fight on the card, we have Gabriella Fernandes taking on Julija Stoliarenko. As for the styles of these fighters, Gabriella Fernandes is a well-rounded MMA fighter. She's a decent striker. She's got good takedown entries. And Stoliarenko, she is literally an armbar merchant. She has 2 UFC wins, and both are by armbar, and she has 11 wins professionally, and 10 of them are by literally armbar. The advantages for each, Gabby is going to have the takedown upside. She's going to be able to have the volume striking upside as well. So if this stays standing, it's going to be Gabby Fernandes all day. And if someone's getting takedowns, I imagine it's going to be Gabby Fernandes. As for Julija Stoliarenko, she will have a 3-inch reach advantage, and there is no other advantage. The only other advantage is she's just an armbar god, because she just continuously gets them in her UFC or MMA fights. Gabby Fernandes, important to note, she has been training at the same gym as Ilia Topuria, so you know she's putting in good work, and she's also never been finished. In her 3 losses, they have all come by decision. As for Stoliarenko, she's been finished in 3 of her 6 UFC losses, 1 by submission, 2 by KO, and honestly, this fight just comes down to who's going to shoot the first takedown. I'm imagining it's going to be Gabby Fernandes, and for those reasons, I'm going to be taking Gabby Fernandes to win this fight by KO. I'm predicting a ground and pound finish in the first round. If Stoliarenko can't get that armbar, she will get finished. That's just how it works. So I'm taking Gabby Fernandes to win by round 1 ground and pound TKO. Next fight on the card, we have Uros Medic taking on Gilbert Urbina. As for the styles of these guys, Medic is kill or be killed, honestly. He's a really good hammer, but he's not a good nail. He's good when he's the one pressing forward, but when he's the one getting pressed, he falters. He has heavy hands. He can KO you in one punch, but his takedown defense is weak. It's sitting at a 55%. Not the best. As for Gilbert Urbina, he's a decent volume striker. If it stays standing, I imagine he can win a points battle if he doesn't get KO'd. He can mix in takedowns, and he loves leg kicking, whether it be front body kicks, whether it be actual leg kicks. He loves using his legs in fights. As for the advantages, Medic is going to have the big power upside, and he's going to have the UFC experience edge, having fought in way more fights than Gilbert Urbina at the UFC level. As for Urbina, he's going to have the height advantage. He's going to have a 4-inch reach advantage. He's going to have the age advantage, being 3 years younger than Medic. And he's going to have takedown upside because he averages over 3 takedowns per fight. Important to note, Medic has never been to a decision in his career. His 3 losses are by finish and his 10 wins are by finish. And in his last fight, he sold the bag as a minus 225 favorite against Punahele Soriano. He went out there and got KO'd in less than 1 minute. As for Gilbert Urbina, he trains at Jackson Wink, which is a pretty good established MMA gym, and he's taken a year off since his KO loss to Charles Radke to what I imagine reinvent himself in the octagon. Now, don't shoot the messenger, but there is a lot to like about the underdog in this matchup, Gilbert Urbina, which is why I'm honestly just going ahead and taking Gilbert Urbina to win this fight by submission. I'm saying round 1. If he can go out there and be active with his takedowns, he's going to have a supreme chance to win this, and he's still young enough in his career where I think he could have made improvements in the last year that he took off. So let's go with Gilbert Urbina, long shot underdog, to win by submission. Next fight on the card, we have Joselyne Edwards taking on Priscilla Cachoeira. Joselyne Edwards is a well-rounded MMA fighter. She's a decent striker, and she's got decent takedowns. As for Priscilla, she is just like Uros Medic. She is kill or be killed. She pressures forward, and she struggles with getting taken down. As for advantages, Joselyne basically has all of them. She's going to be the bigger fighter, being taller. She's going to have a 5-inch reach advantage, and she's also 7 years younger than Priscilla. As for Priscilla, she has one-shot KO power if she connects, but outside of like a meme KO, that is her only way she can win this. Important to note, Joselyne has 4 UFC losses, and 3 of them saw her get taken down multiple times. Priscilla does not have that in her bag, and she's also coming off back-to-back finish wins. She won against Tamiris Vidal by submission, and she just went out there and knocked out Chelsea Chandler in the first round. As for Priscilla, she's had 11 UFC fights, and she's been the underdog in all 11. So I don't know what that says about Priscilla, but she is consistently the betting underdog, and 4 of her 5 UFC wins have come by knockout. Out of all the favorites on the card, I'm actually the most confident on Joselyne Edwards. I think she has every path to victory, and we're not paying a huge price. I mean, minus 300 is good enough for me to shove into a parlay. I think she's going to go out there and take down Priscilla in the first round, and once that happens, I think she's going to find a submission rather quickly. Next fight on the card, we have Elijah Smith taking on Toshiomi Kazama. As for the styles of these guys, Elijah Smith is, very similar to Joselyne Edwards. He's a well-rounded MMA fighter. He's got decent striking, and he's got decent grappling. As for Kazama, he's a high-level grappler, and he offers basically 0 on the feet. His striking is non-existent. As for advantages, Elijah Smith is going to have the height advantage, and he's going to have a 2-inch reach advantage, and he's also going to be 6 years younger than Kazama, which is not really that much considering, Kazama's 28, Elijah's 22, but regardless, it is still an advantage, and for Kazama, he is a meme finish merchant. His only UFC win was a comeback from behind sub, a fight where Charalampos Grigoriou knocked him down multiple times in the first round. Even in the second round, Kazama wiped him off and got a triangle from bottom, so he's a meme finish merchant. It is important to note that Elijah Smith is coming off a win against a higher level grappler in Vince Morales, and his dad was also a UFC fighter, and he was mainly a jiu-jitsu merchant. As for Kazama, he's been knocked out in round 1 in 2 of his 3 UFC fights, and he's been knocked down at least in all of his UFC fights. So with all that being said, do I need to say much more? We're taking Elijah Smith to go out there as the -600 favorite and win by vicious knockout in the very first round. Next fight on the card, we have Julius Walker taking on Raffael Cerquiera. As you can see, I had a lot written up for this fight, but honestly speaking, all you gotta know is Cerquiera is 0-2 in the UFC. He's been finished in the first round in both of his fights by lesser and lesser competition, and Julius Walker should go out there and just knock this guy out. It's just impossible for me to take any other read in this fight. I'm not going to bore you with a long breakdown. You can pause the screen and read my notes. But Julius Walker, I don't care if he's -6,000, he is going out there and finishing Cerquiera in the first round, and any other outcome is CGI generated. Next fight on the card, we have Eryk Anders taking on Christian Leroy Duncan. As for the styles of these guys, Anders is a double-leg takedown merchant, and he just simply needs takedowns to win. If this stays standing for too long, he's going to get pieced up and lose. As for Christian Leroy Duncan, he is a ballet dancer. I don't know really how else to describe his game. He's constantly moving around like a ballet dancer, throwing spinning attacks, and he finds himself in the clinch very often, therefore he's a clinch merchant. Advantages in this one, Eryk Anders obviously has the takedown upside, and he can throw an occasional wonky overhand that might get CLD surprised, but CLD has every advantage you can want. He has the height advantage. He's going to be having the 4-inch reach advantage. He has the age advantage. He's 8 years younger than Anders. And he has the volume striking advantage. He's throwing over 1 significant strike per minute over Eryk Anders. Eryk Anders also has been knocked down in the first round in each of his last 3 fights. And he is 1-6 as a UFC underdog. So when this guy has a plus money tag next to his name, more often than not, you should not be picking or betting him. As for CLD, he did give up 8 minutes of control time to RoboCop, and he's only really beaten top tier cans, but ultimately, he should be the way quicker striker in this, and I think the quickness is what's going to get him the round 1 KO. You know, considering Anders has been knocked down in the first round in each of his last 3 fights, and also consider Duncan's going to be 8 years younger, I think he's just going to have too much for Anders to handle, and he's going to win by round 1 KO. I understand Anders is a big dog pick this week because the price tag is so wide, and this could be a razor-close decision, but I think the speed of CLD is going to be the deciding factor for his round 1 KO. Next fight on the card, we have Miles Johns taking on Gene Matsumoto. As for the styles of these guys, Miles Johns is an insanely low volume striker. He is a power puncher, and he is a decent takedown artist. As for Gene Matsumoto, he's a well-rounded MMA fighter, he's a decent striker, and he's got decent takedowns. Miles Johns' advantages in this one is he does have takedown upside, but he doesn't really shoot takedowns often, and he also has 1-punch KO power occasionally, depends on the day. As for Gene, he's going to have the age advantage. He is 6 years younger than Miles Johns. He will also have the volume striking advantage, throwing over 2 significant strikes compared to Miles Johns. He's going to have a 2.5-inch reach advantage, and he also has the takedown upside. He's averaging 2 more takedowns per 15 minutes compared to Miles Johns. And recently, he struggled to keep up with Felipe Lima on the feet. So if he's struggling to keep up with Felipe Lima, I imagine he's going to struggle to keep up with Gene Matsumoto, who just suffered his first loss against Rob Font in his last fight, a fight that was razor close, a fight that I think Gene Matsumoto actually might have won, and now he's fighting Miles Johns, which is a big step down in competition. So for all those reasons, I'm taking Gene Matsumoto to win this by decision. I think Miles Johns is durable enough to survive Gene's mission grappling, to survive Gene's knockout power on the feet. So I think Gene will win this by volume. I think he'll win this by mixing in takedowns. Give me Gene Matsumoto by decision. Next fight on the card, we have the people's main event, Andre Fili taking on Christian Rodriguez. As for these guys' styles, Andre Fili is well-rounded. He's got decent striking. He's got good takedowns. And guess what? Christian Rodriguez is the same. He's well-rounded. He's got decent striking. He's got good takedowns. And he's got elite takedown defense. Andre Fili will have the height advantage in this one. He will have a 2.5-inch reach advantage as well. He's fought way more guys in the UFC compared to C-Rod, and he will also have takedown upside if he wants to go to those. As for C-Rod, he will have the age advantage. He's going to be 8 years younger than Andre Fili, which is huge for lower weight classes. He's going to have a slight volume advantage on the feet, and honestly, I know Fili has the takedown upside. I think C-Rod has the way better grappling in this one. He even shot for 15 takedowns against Melky Costa last time out. Now, it is very important to note that both of these guys are insanely untrustworthy, all right? C-Rod is going out there and getting guillotined by Julian Erosa, and Andre Fili is going out there and putting himself into guillotines versus Melky Costa. Andre Fili is a split decision merchant. C-Rod is a close decision merchant. This is quite literally the best match they could have made, honestly, in the entire UFC. This is as 50-50 as it gets with two insanely untrustworthy guys. C-Rod always falters when he's not fighting a prospect, and Andre Fili always wins when you least expect him to, like you would in this fight, but I can't do it, alright? I just can't do it. I'm not picking Andre Fili. He's let me down so many times, but then again, C-Rod has also let me down multiple times. This is just one of those fights where you're not going to put a bet on it. You're just going to sit down and enjoy the cinema. Next fight on the card, we have Iasmin Lucindo taking on Angela Hill. As for their styles, Iasmin Lucindo is a well-rounded MMA fighter. She always looks for the big shot, and she's got decent takedowns. As for Angela Hill, she is a well-rounded MMA fighter. She's got decent volume striking as well, and she's got good takedowns. As for the advantages, Lucindo is going to be 17 years younger than Angela Hill. That is a wide margin to make up for if you're Angela Hill, and she's also going to have the power upside. She is the one that can land a big shot in this match, and Angela Hill, she will have the volume advantage. She lands almost 3 more strikes per minute compared to Lucindo, and clearly she has the UFC experience edge. But don't get carried away with Iasmin Lucindo. She landed 4 strikes against Amanda Lemos, and she landed 30 strikes against Marina Rodriguez, and those fights both went the distance. She is not high volume whatsoever. She is prone to getting taken down, and her losses, 3 of them have come by submission, 3 of them have come by decision. As for Angela Hill, she's fought similar prospects to Iasmin. She beat Denise Gomes, she beat Ketlin Souza, and in those fights, she just landed more strikes, and she mixed in takedowns, and she should technically be on a 4-fight win streak if you count her robbery loss to Tabitha Ritchie. So for all those reasons, I think there's enough. I think there's enough to take Angela Hill to win by decision. It is always tricky picking someone to win that you know can really only win by decision. But I think Angela Hill, you know, she got a submission win over Luana Pinheiro. She might be able to turn back the clock again this weekend, and I'm predicting that she's going to do so. Next fight on the card, we have Steve Erceg taking on Ode Osbourne. As for these guys' styles, Steve Erceg is well-rounded. He's got decent striking with decent power, and he has good takedowns. As for Ode Osbourne, he is a high-power striker who occasionally can mix in takedowns like he did against Charles Johnson. He shot for 10 takedowns in that fight. As for the advantages, Steve Erceg has all of them. He's going to have the volume striking advantage, so if this stays standing, he should be landing more strikes than Ode Osbourne. And this is also a big step down in competition for Steve. He's been fighting non-stop top 5 ranked guys, and now they're finally giving him a layup in Ode Osbourne. He's also going to have the takedown upside, and as for Ode Osbourne, his only advantage is reach. He's going to have 4.5 inches of reach over Steve Erceg, which might be big if this fight stays standing for 15 minutes. It is important to note that Steve Erceg is on a 3-fight losing streak, so he's hungry for a W. It is also important to note that one of those losses was a vicious first-round knockout loss to Kai Kara France. So if Kai Kara France can knock him out in the first round, I think Ode Osbourne can as well. But Ode Osbourne is just, he's like an Andre Fili. He's like a flyweight Andre Fili. He's very hard to trust. He got finished in 5 of his 6 UFC losses. He's prone to being taken down and controlled, like against Ronaldo Rodriguez. And he is coming off a KO win, so maybe he can turn that into 2 KO wins. But you won't find me predicting that on this channel. I'm taking the minus 550 Steve Erceg to win this by decision. This is actually one of my least confident picks on the card, considering it is flyweight, considering Steve is chinny, kinda, considering Ode has KO power. There's a lot of ways this can go wrong, but at the end of the day, I got to pick the minus 600 to win. That brings us to the main event of the evening. We got Roman Dolidze taking on Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. For these guys' styles, Roman Dolidze is pretty well-rounded. He's a decent striker, decent grappling, decent power. He's ranked at middleweight. He's ranked at light heavyweight, and there's reasons for that. And as for Anthony Hernandez, he is a heavy grappler. He's got immense wrestling pressure, and he's got pretty good striking defense. You don't really see him eating strikes that often. The advantage here. Roman Dolidze, K-Guard Merchant. There's this new guard called K-Guard, which, I mean, I'm sure I'll throw it on the screen. Roman Dolidze seems to be the merchant of that. He's got sneaky submission skills, and he's going to be the slightly bigger fighter in terms of height and reach. As for Anthony Hernandez, he's going to have the age advantage. He's going to be 6 years younger than Dolidze, which is huge. He's going to have the volume advantage. He lands more than 1 strike per minute compared to Dolidze, and obviously, it's no-brainer. He's going to have the takedown upside. He averages over 6 takedowns per fight. And like I said, averaging 6 takedowns per fight is a lot, especially when the guy you're fighting has a 33% takedown defense in Roman Dolidze. That is a horrific look. But the good thing about Dolidze is it looks like he's been taking a recent career resurgence, being on a, I believe, 3 or 4 fight winning streak, and he put up 141 significant strikes against Marvin Vettori in his last fight. And as for Fluffy, he's got questionable durability on the feet. You know, he did get finished by Kevin Holland. He did get submitted by in an anaconda choke by a no-name, so there is a chance that happens again, but he is on a 7-fight win streak with 5 finishes against really high-level competition. I'm not going to be the one to get in front of this hype train. I'm taking Anthony Fluffy Hernandez as the minus 330 favorite. I think he's going to get a late-round finish, whether it be KO or sub. I'm leaning sub. I think he's just going to put relentless pressure on Dolidze, and that has been too much for every guy he's fought so far, and I don't think Dolidze is going to be any different. Here they are. My first one is Joselyne Edwards to win inside the distance. She should win by KO or sub. I think Julius Walker wins inside the distance, KO or sub. I think Elijah Smith wins inside the distance, KO or sub. And I think Gene Matsumoto moneyline is a pretty safe pick. Oh, I also threw in Fluffy Hernandez. I wouldn't really... Yeah, I guess I did it, so... Fluffy Hernandez, let's do it. For my sneaky takes, we got a few. Gilbert Urbina moneyline, plus 400. We're taking him as an underdog. Angela Hill moneyline, plus 200. We're sniping her as an underdog as well. Christian Rodriguez to beat Andre Fili by sub. I probably will end up betting that prop. I know I said that you shouldn't be betting that fight, but... I just can't help myself. I think C-Rod's going to sub him. And then Cody Brundage KO. He should completely destroy Eryk McConico. I don't know if I'm going to actually bet that. It is a sneaky take after all. And my last sneaky take is Gabriella Fernandes to win by finish, KO, or sub against Stoliarenko. And yeah.